Konnichiwa. What's going on? It's your girl Cohen Gray, back with a motherfucking vengeance, bitch. I'm back. I'm better. Still low-key recovering. Pardon me, I just literally made some dinner. I'm gonna be eating low-key while I'm talking about this, but story time is fuck. Basically, long story short, I was supposed to be a part of the cult culture event that like recently happened over like last weekend. And I started getting into my performance, you know, doing my thing. We're on the stage. And then motherfucking, like, I think my second song, I got off the stage and then, I don't know what convinced me to do this. I got off the stage and then I like, there was like a stripper pole basically. I just remember there was like a stripper pole in the party. And so like I found the pole and then I started like basically dancing around the pole. But I wasn't really like booty dropping. I was just like literally like just walking around it while rapping. And then it was like a party light, and the party light had like, you know, like them discos with the lasers and shit. It was like a red and a green laser, but like the red one was like very prominent, I remember. And so like I'm basically in the middle of rapping and the fucking red beam from the party light, bro, like that shit fucking pew. You ever seen That's So Raven? Like that exact way like that happened in the show, like that whole visual, that's like what it felt like. That shit fucking blinded the fuck out of my left eye. Again, it did to the other one. There was a part while I was performing basically where my eye rolled back and everyone I know thought that was just a part of my whole set, but I really could not fucking see. And I'm fucking like, I grew up watching a lot of entertainers, so I don't know what's wrong with me, but like I just always like, I've always been like a very much like the show must go on person, and like never let anybody know what the fuck is really happening, even though shit is fucking hitting the fan. So basically I can't see and I'm basically like dancing. I'm motherfucking dancing and I basically cannot see nothing. So I stayed in the same spot and I just did like a whole like random made up choreo, like I just on the spot while just trying to regain my motherfucking sight. And everybody is like, yeah. Motherfucking so insane. This is so insane. But yeah, I play on the whole horror thing a lot. Kind of been a big thing, like kind of like a part of my like whole Cohen Gray thing. When I'm rolling my eyes back and shit and the performance, like people was really thinking that's a part of my shit, and it's like no, it actually was not. That was not a part of my shit. Like I bitch could not fucking see. Not funny. Also, this is really not funny, but I don't know what the fuck else to do but laugh, you feel me? Like, because this is crazy. So eventually, the weird thing is eventually I could like see afterwards, like I, you know, continue with my performance, whatever, like that basically didn't happen. It was just weird as fuck because like right after that, you know, people was like, oh, you did a good job. Yo, I fuck with your set, da da da. I'm getting an award from, you know, from X, which was really dope. Also, thank you. I could actually finally see my award. So, you know, I'm getting an award and I'm not really paying no mind or whatever, but like basically after I get off the stage, my left eye just started fucking like glitching, bro. Like, da, 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 like just rolling to the back, like my eyeball rolling to the back of my fucking head and shit. And at that point I was like, oh fuck. And it's crazy because I realize this is like really bad. Something bad about me is like, I guess I'm not really good at situations and emergency. I always think like I can handle things on my own, and I probably should have told someone that was happening, but I didn't. I actually felt really embarrassed that was happening. So I was like, oh my God, let me just get the fuck home. So I'm telling my friend that I came with about a dip. I really didn't put two and two together that it was the laser, bro. Like I'm thinking like, is in my contacts, because I usually, you all know I always wear my white contacts and shit like that. Like I've never had an issue with that ever. So I'm thinking, okay, like when I get close enough to the train and stuff, like I'll take the contacts out. My eyes just going crazy, like same thing now, but instead of it rolling to the back, now my eyes are starting to close like by themselves, bro. And I still have to get home. Oh y'all, so my phone ended up dying. And then there was no storage space. So this is a continuance of what I was saying. By the grace of the Lord, I made it home, okay? I made it home. It was just the weirdest thing. Like, all symptoms that I was having, like with my eyes closing and stuff by themselves, they just went away. I'm home. I noticed that my vision is a little blurry, but it's nothing crazy. I'm just thinking like, you know, my eyes are just probably irritated. That's never happened to me before, ever. I get on Instagram. I posted like 2 things on my story, went to sleep. Next day when I woke up, I could not open my eyes. And it was just a weird feeling because I knew I was awake, but I could not open my eyes. It became to the point where I was like trying to pry them open. And whenever I did, they would burn, like they were burning. So my next reaction was basically to get up to go to the bathroom, and I started basically trying to wash my face. They still wouldn't open. You know how like mummies be moving and shit with their arms out, bitch? I was trying to find the bathroom. Eventually, just suffering alone again. Literally suffering alone again. I finally decide if this is actually an emergency. I actually need to call someone for help. So find my way out of my apartment with no sight, and then I called out to my neighbor, who thank goodness was home, and they took me to the hospital. I thought things were gonna get better there, but ended up getting worse, because if you know anything about actually going to a hospital, especially on a day where it's busy, just so happened that everybody and their grandma wanted to be at the hospital that day. So I was just there. They just had me in this wheelchair, bro, and I was just waiting for hours with my eyes just burning nonstop. Just like talking about it is traumatic for me, because I'm just feeling people pass me by and stuff, and just hoping that one person would be the nurse or the doctor to just help me. And I'm just sitting there with my eyes like burning to the point where I am screaming. So that just says like how intense this pain was. Hours pass, and eventually I hear this lady's voice. I'm assuming it's a nurse. Why are you here? And then I basically say, you know, I cannot open my eyes. Do you know what this bitch says to me? Can you open your eyes? This bitch, I cannot open my eyes. So you know what she said? She literally said, well, if you can't open your eyes, then I can't help you. So I'll be back. And I was like, oh my God, like a part of me just died right there. And I just knew by the way that she said it that she was over her job that day and just was not gonna actually come back. So at that point, bro, I was just like over it. The way they was taking so long, like I thought that I was really just gonna be blind forever, because, you know, eventually it was like hours, bro. I just felt like tortured. Eventually they get me in this room and they put me in this chair. 2 different people trying to force eye drops into my eyes. Like they had to pry it open and stuff like that. And I am screaming. And they told me, the crazy thing is, they told me that the eye drops were supposed to numb my eyes, and it burned so bad and it made it even worse. And then they were talking to each other like, oh, that's not really supposed to have that reaction. We should write down that she's still experiencing a lot of pain. And yeah, just kept going from there. So then finally, like they have this like UV purple light that they had to push in front of my face. This lady's like, you have to open your eyes, and I'm like, I can't. Like, if one more person says that shit, like, do you think I will be here? And I don't know, they just tried to like run tests. They took these 2 little things and scratched the bottom, I guess, to see if there was still like something in there, whatever. They couldn't find no scratches, nothing. So yeah, those 2 people who were supposed to help me ended up giving up because they really didn't know why I was still in pain. And so they ended up having to call an ophthalmologist. So for you smart people, that's an eye doctor. He took a long time to get there. It was just more torture because like he got there and man, like this man was trying to like crack jokes while I was like that. Obviously he was telling like jokes, but I wasn't really in the mood to joke around, especially in that situation and the pain I was in. And so at one point he like said like a joke or something, and then he was like, it was a joke. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, because I was over it, bro. Like, why are you telling jokes while I'm trying to figure out if I'm ever going to be able to see again? Like, that's not funny. Same thing, I had to force my eye open. They had to put like some light in there, try to read this thing he gave me, and it was like real effort, like to just keep my eyes open. He ends up prescribing me some eye drops. So eventually, thanks again, once again, to my neighbor. Like, let's go, good people. They picked up my prescription for me and everything, which was so nice. I got these eye drops basically where like I was supposed to put them into my eyes at least 4 times a day. And I just basically had to do that for 5 days. And then those 5 days were like, my eyes were very sensitive to light to the point where I didn't want to be outside. So I would just stay in the house with the lights all off, because any type of light, outside light, lamp light, just burned my eyes like so badly. And oh, I forgot one of the most fucked up parts of the story. One of the most fucked up parts of this story is that during this whole time where I was not able to see, I had a nightmare. And actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I do suffer from night terrors, and also insomnia occasionally. The things going on with my eyes, like I didn't have a choice but to have my eyes closed. So I would try to like force myself to sleep so the days will go by quicker. It was a really fucked up nightmare. My nightmares are really vivid. So basically all I remember is like there was just like some type of like demon lady that was like basically sitting on top of my chest. I'm laying down in my bed, right? And it was like on top of me with like something really sharp, like it was trying to like cut my chest, but it couldn't. And it was like in a dream, basically it's like I was just like shaking like out of just petrified fear, trying to cut me, but it's like something was stopping them from being able to do that. Basically that was the end of the dream, like black blood on me and shit, like real fucked up. So yeah, if anyone wants to know where I get all of these like creepy inspirations for like my songs and shit, or like music videos, that's actually that's why that's a thing, because I ended up using things that were fucked up in my dreams as inspiration. So yeah, now people know like why the horror thing has like been like a part of my artistry. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna keep being disturbed by these fucked up dreams and shit, I might as well fucking use them to do something. So yeah, imagine having a fucked up dream like that and then not really being able to open your eyes. You know, the days going by, light sensitivity was still a thing, but I was starting to like be able to see more and more, but everything was very slow process, like very blurry. At one point when it was getting like the best it was been, it looked like I was underwater basically, like when you're trying to see, when you go to the pool and you try to be cool, open your eyes under the water, like, look friend, look what I can do. Yeah, it felt like I was underwater, bro. But yeah, everything is much better now. Thank you once again for all the well wishes. That was my story time. And I also wanted to say that I do have a song that's gonna be on all platforms. The name of the song is called Done Up, and it was entirely inspired by the situation. So I would love it if you checked it out. I do feel like if this never happened, I probably would never have written this song. I probably wouldn't have written a lot of songs if a lot of traumatic and things didn't happen to me. So the power of Cohen Gray actually comes from my trauma. Like, that's how I come up with my greatest fucking ideas. And so when I was able to finally see again, like, I got on my computer, I got my MIDI out, I started making a beat, I started writing. Like, that's what I do. And yes, so there wouldn't really be Cohen Gray without the bounce back from situations. And so that's what the song really means to me. It's my bounce back. It's me being like, bitch, I'm back. Like, I'm gonna go hard. It's Coco, baby, I'm back and I'm better, and no, I don't ever retire. There's certain shit that you're really not gonna catch in my songs unless I really explain it. And there's people that actually right off the bat will understand and know what I mean. I'm a very resilient person, and I have experienced a lot in my life. And I'm only in my my 20s. Thank you guys for watching my story time. I'm feeling much better. And I'm still gonna take my eye drops. And I don't know if I'm gonna need glasses later on. That's a possibility. So if you see me walking around looking all like a librarian and shit, I'm gonna be a cute librarian.